Hey guys, Parfax here. Alright, I'm here to bring you guys a video about how you can raise your DPS. This is the big thing in this game. Pretty much every mechanic in the game can be outdone by DPS. It's the single most important thing in the game. You can get through stuff without healing if you have tons of DPS. You get through almost everything without tanking with major DPS. I have personally ran through just about every dungeon in the game without a tank, and every dungeon in the game with very minimal healing. The key is you've got to have enough DPS. Okay, so here is how you can raise your DPS. The very first and probably most important thing is make sure you have your food. Go ahead and make food. Don't do drinks specifically for PvE. If you're just trying to raise your DPS, food itself will raise your DPS. Gives you more stats for your pool. As you can see now, I have 28,000 stamina. So in the more pool you have, the more damage you're going to do. Alright? Now secondly, does your class have anything that buffs your abilities? Okay. Like Nightblade has... Where is it at? Increased critical strike rating for each assassination ability slotted. Current bonus is 839. So each time I have an assassination ability slotted here, it's going to give me a buff, a stagnant buff, as long as I'm on this bar. Now when I switch, I have none. Okay, not worried about it. Crit's not super important in this game. It's going to bring us to our next point. Okay, oops, sorry. The stats that are most important. Okay, this right here, weapon damage, and this right here, spell damage, are by far your most important stats when it comes to DPS. Yes, you have to have enough stamina. Okay, if you're a stamina build, and yes, you have to have enough magic if you're a magic build. But the quickest way to raise your DPS is to raise these two stats right here by any means necessary. Okay, crit. There's not a set amount that I will suggest, but I will say that as long as you have this passive, let's go right up here. For stamina, as long as you have... Oh, I have that passive. Precise strikes, increase your weapon critical rating by 12%. Or spell precision, which increases your spell critical by 12%. As long as you have those two, you're fine. Okay? Next tip. Know what you do. And when I say that, you mean, whoa, what do you mean? Okay. As a Nightblade, I have a few abilities. I'm not using them at the moment, but this will help you out. Poison injection. It does poison damage. Okay. Focus aim physical. Physical, 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 physical. Now, let's say that I wanted to use incapacitating strikes. It deals 9,516 magic damage and increases your damage against them by 20%. Okay. So, I basically do physical mainly, that's my main skills right here, most of them. Do a little bit of poison, possibly do some magic damage. So I want to put those points accordingly. Okay, well, physical damage. As you can see, I have most points in it. Okay, piercing, increase the amount of armor your physical attacks ignore. Great, that's straight more DPS. Precise strikes, increase the critical damage of your physical attacks. What else can you say with that? Straight DPS. And Intellimiters, increase your damage with poison, disease, and magic by 8.4%. So that works if you are a magic user, but it has to say magic damage. Just because it takes magic doesn't mean it's magic damage. But if it does say magic, this is the skill that you need to do. Now, if you're doing straight PvE, you're going to want to put some points into these, depending on what you're using. but I'm PvE at the moment, and I actually might go back and put some points in my bow expert because I heavy attack with it a lot. Okay. Next tip, got to be able to sustain it. So make sure you put plenty of points into Mooncalf and Warlord. This is basically the only things you need in these trees. If you're doing only PvE, I would put half of them in there and half of them in there. And if you're Magic, Arcanist, and Magician. Okay, you've got to be able to keep it. I have Tumbling because this is PvP and I didn't want to take my points out. Okay. Now, the last thing that I'm going to touch at, and this is something that most people know, most people don't know how to do, or haven't been willing to do, or can't really do yet. Okay? And it's weaving. So I'm just going to show you. Now, if you look down at the bottom of my screen right above my bar, it's going to show my DPS. So I'm just going to... I'm going to try to find something that's not going to kill him super easy because he has 17,000. We're going to hit him with Brawler. Okay? Hit him with Brawler. Oh, I missed one. Okay. Let's... Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kill this dude. Okay, got him one shot. I'm going to reset. And then we're going to practice on him, and then I'm going to get another guy. Reset, you big boy. There you go. I wait for my rally to run out, because it's just kind of a habit. Alright. Oh, one more thing. Your stamina user, Expert Hunter. Now, I don't have it morphed yet, which is bad on my part. But while slotted, undead and Daedric enemies are easier to see, blah, 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 blah. Killing undead refreshes. Invoke your expertise in anatomy and enemy behavior to give your attacks 15% chance to cause an additional 6,500 damage. Oh, okay, right there it is. While slotted, undead and Daedra are easier to see, and you gain major savagery, increasing your weapon critical by 2,099. That's about 10%. Okay, so have it on both bars. It's going to give me a stagnant 10% weapon crit. Now, if I needed to put something on there, I could. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if you have room, it's the same thing with Inner Light. You've got to put it on. Alright, so let's just going to do some brawlers here. As you can see, my DPS, it's 5,000. I don't need those. Alright, we're going to go ahead and kill this dude. That's right, run back. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to swing my sword, and as I start to swing it, I'm going to hit Brawler. And as you can see, like, it's really hard to tell. I'll do it a little slower so you guys can see it. And what it's called is animation canceling. I'm doing the animation of my light attack swing. I'm canceling it with a Brawler. Done well. Now, I don't macro this. A lot of people will. And a lot of people do this very effectively. But you can macro it here. Or I mean, not macro it. I mean, right there, I'm actually weaving. And it will register those hits. My sword is not swinging, it doesn't look like. But if you watch real closely, it's twitching. And I'm actually macro. I mean, I'm not macro. I'm actually weaving. Alright, so let's show it to you. Remember, 5,000 is what I got before. $9,500. Okay? I mean, if that's not... I mean, if you need more proof, we'll go over and kill this guy. Okay, he even interrupted me. And I still got 6,000. So I lost out on an attack, I lost a bunch of DPS. But I still got 6,000. So, I mean, it's just... Weaving is the easiest way to increase your DPS. You can have the same build, and I'm saying you weave with everything. Rally, weave. Expert Hunter, weave if you're going against Daedric. Keeping up your buffs. Like, I use Relentless Focus. Increases my stamina regen, gives me a buff. Weave when you hit it. Weave. I mean, you just weave when you hit everything. It is the single best way to raise your DPS. So let's see. I'm gonna do some real DPS here. That's gonna be kind of. Oh no. Okay, I'll just kill you. Alright. I'll show you guys something kind of fun. So you can kind of see. It has nothing to do with weaving, but. Oh, I'm detect. There we go. Watch. Ooh, that one hit for 53,000. That's not too bad, I don't think, right? But yeah, so those are your tips. I just want to end on something kind of fun. It's fun to see those huge numbers. Let's see if he doesn't see us. We're gonna debuff him. We're gonna buff myself, and then I gotta make sure I'm directly behind him, and we're gonna hit for him for an absurd amount. 53.2. That's not too bad, if I may say so myself. But those are my tips. I hope you guys enjoy. Go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to me if you hasn't, because I'll always have more videos to put out. And I did just do a giveaway, and actually some of them in the guild with won. I didn't know who it was until they asked who won. I said, this person. They're like, oh, that's me. I'm like, no, it's not. Turns out it was. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in Tamriel.